Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Tom Emmer here on Twitter posting this. Think the government surveilling your $600 Venmo transaction was invasive? Looks like the Biden administration wants to take things even further. The IRS is trying to deploy a new system to surveil waiters' tips too. I don't know if you guys heard this. This was making news a few days ago. The Treasury Department and IRS today issued a notice which contains a proposed revenue procedure that would establish the Service Industry Tip Compliance Agreement Program, a voluntary tip reporting program between the IRS and employees in various service industries. So now the IRS is looking to go after your tips. If you are a service industry employee, I would be very, very concerned about this. And, it speaks towards this idea of a cashless society that they're looking to move towards. And if we start paying more in cash and, especially tipping in cash, this is the only way we're really going to prevent this kind of thing from happening. So, the fact that, the government is trying to really come after us, really come after our money in every way, shape, or form. So guys, it is important to take a stance. It is really, really important to pay in cash. I try to make it my mission once a week, and I've mentioned this on this channel in the past, and I think I haven't mentioned it for a while. But so I thought I'd mention it again. I take it upon myself to pay in cash at least once a week. This is an idea from Catherine Austin Fitts. I first heard this from her, but it's really going to help prevent the removal of cash from our society. I mean, if the government continues to see that cash is in circulation, well, I mean, if it's continuously in circulation, they're going to have a harder time trying to stop that. We want to prevent this move to a central bank digital currency. We don't want to be tracked. We don't want to be surveilled. We want to have freedom of spending, freedom of movement. I mean, this is all tied into other things. Government taking away our freedoms in other capacities in life. So I just thought I'd bring this up to kind of hit that point home. It doesn't really flow into this next topic, but I thought I'd just bring it up to keep reminding you guys, cash transactions are going to be one of the things that saves us at the end of the day from complete government control. Anyway, I happen to see this, though, coming from Mike Manfield on Twitter. Ripple-enabled Flutterwave, Africa's leading payments technology company, has announced today that it has received its payment services provider and payments facilitator licenses in Egypt. So for those people who are not using cash and are using RippleNet technology, the silver lining for us XRP hodlers, we're continuously seeing more development from Ripple-enabled partners, in this case Flutterwave. The licenses will enable Flutterwave to act as an official payment service provider in the country. It collects payments on behalf of its customers and settles payments locally and globally. These licenses will allow Flutterwave to deploy Flutterwave for business suites of products, including store, payment links, invoices, and checkout in Egypt. So Flutterwave, I believe they first started in Nigeria, and then they started expanding throughout different parts of Africa. Now they're hitting Egypt. Flutterwave, as a result of these licenses, becomes one of the few payment service providers in Egypt with both local and global settlement capabilities. So that's interesting. Flutterwave facilitates cross-border transactions in multiple currencies for global companies, including Uber, and the new licenses will help the company support international businesses entering the Egyptian market or growing their operations in the country. Flutterwave will also be in a strong position to empower businesses based in Egypt to expand internationally, in addition to creating new jobs in the country through empowering local businesses. So Flutterwave has been Ripple-enabled for a while. Egypt, we know, is a Ripple and XRP friendly country. I do believe, too, that representatives at Ripple have met with the Central Bank of Egypt, and there's a partnership brewing there, if not already solidified. So Ripple partners, another example, taking it upon themselves to expand their business. And Flutterwave, one of the very successful examples of that, started in Africa and started permeating Africa. I feel like Flutterwave is the African Ripple XRP company, if I could deem it that. Anyway, that's great news. Wanted to thank Mike for posting that. Also happened to see this from Matthew Liny here on Twitter. Standard Charter, which is also a Ripple company, they have now partnered with Alipay. So they are partnering to enable cross-border QR code payments. Participating merchants in Hong Kong will now be able to accept Singapore's Pay Now payments without infrastructure or operational charges. Moreover, Singaporeans will not have to face currency exchange rates or cross-border fees. So eliminating that portion of the cross-border transaction, obviously streamlining it on the XRP ledger, making it fast and cost-effective. Obviously, that is a bonus. The general manager of Alipay Merchant Services, Tay Tiong Hien, commented, "It is timely to spearhead Pay Now QR payments at Hong Kong merchants. With the resumption of travel, we are confident that this partnership will offer a real-time and seamless digital payment experience through Alipay's integrated platform to truly meet our customers' needs for better cross-border payments, cost savings, and mobile lifestyle." So They obviously see the benefit of streamlining with DLT technology. And again, Standard Chartered, a Ripple partner. Currency exchange rates have obviously been a pain point in a lot of these countries over the years because think about it, right? A lot of small countries very close together in Southeast Asia, and they all have their own fiat currencies. So streamlining this, making FX transfers very, very affordable and instantaneous, essentially instantaneous. This is obviously beneficial to the end user. And so, again, it just makes sense that we are seeing this kind of adoption from these types of Ripple partners. Anyway, I wanted to thank Matt for posting that. In Algorand news, guys, Algorand is driving Web3 adoption in India. Check this out from the Cryptic Poet. Algorand to drive Web3 adoption in India through key partnerships. Now, Algorand, another one of those WEF tokens, the Algorand Foundation announced several partnerships in India, including collaborations with schools to develop educational programs to help grow Web3 in the country. So not only are these crypto companies disseminating DLT and blockchain technology in these countries, they're also wanting to help promote and foster education that would help perpetuate the crypto adoption in the future. So in this announcement sent to Cointelegraph, the Algorand team said it partnered with this particular technical school, this technical university, and I'm not going to try to pronounce that, and the Indian School of Business to launch educational programs. This includes programs for faculty development and student development training. Additionally, the firm will host a master class for businesses looking to dive into the Web3 space. And guys, here's a quote: "We are ready to take center stage in India and across the globe to fuel world-changing solutions to improve access to financial services, healthcare, education, and so many other critical applications." All built now on the Algorand blockchain. Algorand spearheading this. Down here it says the Algorand Foundation also became the technology partner for the Global Climate Resilient Fund launched by none other than the Clinton Foundation. The fund will contribute to helping local businesses connect with carbon markets and monetize carbon credits. Well, it's no surprise the Clinton Foundation has its fingerprints all over this. Algorand, again, one of those WEF, World Economic Forum, chosen cryptocurrencies. "I am thrilled to be back in India," another quote here, "and especially to see the embrace and enthusiasm by people across the country for technology that can so significantly and positively impact their quality of life." So another example, guys, a project really solving problems in the real world. The Algo token, a great, I think, undervalued cryptocurrency at this moment in time. Right now, Algorand, it's up a bit actually, 0.278, and took quite a dip after the FTX fall. And so since that bottom, it's actually up 71%, give or take. So a project that has a lot of potential. Wanted to thank Cryptic Poet for posting that. I also think it's probably very important to note that the BIS is taking a look, actually actively monitoring stablecoins. Okay, guys, this is from DJ Peter Vass. Central bank test lab to trial stablecoin monitoring system. And this is going through the Bank for International Settlements. A global central bank test lab run out of London is designing a stablecoin monitoring system aimed to giving authorities a clearer picture on how they work and how to regulate them in the future. So, stablecoins have been this pain point for governments, and this is why I think governments globally want to really drill down on, with regards to the multitude of ways you can regulate crypto. They want to drill down on stablecoins first, because if they can get a grasp on how stablecoins are used, why people use them, where people use them, they're going to be able to control them. And I mean, since they want to usher in their own central bank digital currencies, well, stablecoins obviously are the biggest threat to that. So stablecoins are a type of cryptocurrency that maintain a one-to-one peg. Yeah, we know that. The collapse last year of the widely used stablecoin Luna and Terra USDT sparked widespread turmoil. And in a bid to ensure that there is more oversight going forward, the Bank for International Settlements, often dubbed the central bank for the world's central banks, is to begin work in its London Innovation Hub on a tool that keeps tabs on them. It is expected to run various tests and simulations on a yet-to-be-defined number of stablecoins and their balance sheets and come up with preliminary findings by the end of the year. And so here's a spokesperson from the BIS. They said, most central banks lack tools to systematically monitor stablecoins and avoid asset liability mismatches. The project is called a PIX trial, after the ancient judicial ceremony in Britain to ensure newly minted coins conformed to required standards. Interesting to see now that the BIS is, they're setting up an entire project to monitor stablecoins, and this is likely going to go out to all the central banks that are associated with the BIS to come up with ways to properly regulate stablecoins in their respective jurisdictions. So that's an interesting update here. Of course, the US dollar is under attack as the global reserve currency, We have the BRICS countries working together to create their own version of a new fiat, something that would be backed by something more substantial than just promises, government promises that that dollar is worth that much. And so we've talked about the SDR, special drawing rights, on this channel in the past, and how the SDR, this is directly from the International Monetary Fund, how its valuation is calculated. This gives us updated rates, okay? This is just from yesterday, Wednesday, February the 8th, and it gives you guys an updated rate. One SDR is worth about 1.341910 US dollars. So this is directly from the IMF. Considering where the world is going, though, and considering we now know fiat currencies in their current form are likely not really going to exist in the coming years in their current form. I think fiats are still going to exist, but they're going to be backed by a bunch of different things. Like I said, Russia looking to back their new ruble, or looking to back the ruble to gold. So that's just one example. Other countries might do something different. Commodity-rich countries might decide to back their fiat currency with other commodities. And again, this is not in the Western world. This is a whole new system that's being created as a bit of a backlash to the current system that we're working in, the Western system that isn't working. And these countries are saying, no, that's enough. So then I happened upon this, guys. Another one from DJ Peter Vass here on Twitter, the SDR plus Ripple XRP. So what the heck is this? And this is a screen grab from a couple of days ago. And I know that because the exchange rates were updated just 2 days before today. Here somebody's actually created a calculator on coinmill.com. So I thought I'd bring up the calculator, and it's interesting because here you can get an estimate, special drawing rights, or an SDR, and Ripple's XRP currency exchange rate conversion calculator. And again, guys, you can find this at coinmill.com. I do not know who posted this, but it's an interesting snapshot into what the price of XRP could be if the SDR, or a brand new SDR, were to be created tomorrow. Again, let's not forget, right now the SDR is based on fiat currency that is worth basically nothing, okay? Promises, not worth the paper that it is printed on. And currently we have the Chinese yuan, the euro, the Japanese yen, UK pound, and US dollar as part of that basket of currencies. And as you guys can see here, this is the value of said currencies. So even just with today's conversion rate, you guys can see XRP, once it is fully integrated into the new financial system, should command a value of about $4.57. So that's interesting. Obviously, we don't have XRP working at full capacity right now. But I mean, I'm just looking at this, and this is just based on the current factors we have here, the current SDR rate, based on what the IMF has deemed the SDR to be valued at. Now, let's take it one step further. I happen to see this article here, which countries would benefit the most from an IMF SDR increase. And as you guys can see here, just going down here in the article, and I will link all this in the description, obviously, we know that the current system is run by Western countries. Since SDRs are allocated pro rata in relation to a country's IMF quota, the distribution is heavily skewed towards the bigger and richer countries that arguably have the least need for it. So the United States, European Union, and the United Kingdom alone would receive nearly half of the new liquidity. Now, this is an older article, and this is assuming the SDR stays within the limits of the current system that we are working in. However, a new system, or a fractured system, could be developed sometime in the future. We already have, as I mentioned, we already have BRICS countries working on something. We already have Russia talking about backing the ruble to gold. And so I happen to also see this article from February of 2017. The price of gold, and this is just a what if, the price of gold if the US was to still be on the gold standard. And down here, I believe they mention it down here in the article, and I'll link this in the description if this kind of thing interests you. With $1.5 trillion in circulation, that means each ounce of gold held by the US government would need to be valued at $5,228 per ounce. So basically 2 times what gold is worth today, over 2 times what gold is worth today. If we just take a quick look at what gold is worth today, I have the chart up here. You guys can see over here it's worth about $1,882 per ounce. And so if we were to take 5228 divided by 1882, that would be about 2.7 times, so almost 3 times the amount. So that is if the US dollar were backed by gold. Now, like I said, the Russian government is already looking to do this with the Russian ruble. And so it's not an outrageous concept to think that the USD will eventually be debased and we will be running on a new world reserve currency, possibly backed by gold. Let's also not forget, guys, this from Kevin Cage from back in May. The company Ripple and the cryptocurrency XRP sure have a lot of connections to BRICS nations. And Russia, as an example here, is one of those BRICS nations. Here's a quick example for each country. Feel free to add more below. So we have BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Brazil. Ripple launched operations in Brazil in 2019, partnering with banking giants such as Santander and Bradesco. They also met with the Central Bank of Brazil, I believe it was in 2020. How about Russia? XRP_owl found that the Central Bank of Russia tested XRP in a multinational payment system. This goes back to 2018. Also from last month, Sberbank, Russia's largest leader, which just received a license from the central bank to issue digital assets to clients. We also have India. Well, Ripple's got a rich history in India. Former governor of the Reserve Bank of India spoke at Ripple's 2019 Swell event. We also have the Tata connection and many other organizations there connected to Ripple. China. Ripple met with the People's Bank of China. Also, dLocal is a huge Ripple partner. They're connected to Alipay and WeChat. And then finally, South Africa, Mercury to boost remittances, times, and money savings to the South African nation using ODL. Also, Zago was founded in South Africa, and Zago is also a Ripple partner. Not to mention the countries that want to join BRICS, like Egypt. Egypt joined BRICS NDB. The National Bank of Egypt, or Egypt's largest bank, joins Ripple Network for cross-border payments. National Bank of Egypt and Lulu Exchange. There's also connection there through RippleNet. So a lot of other countries looking to get into the BRICS organization that already have Ripple connections. So an interesting thread here brought to us a few months ago by Kevin Cage. So we know the BRICS nations have deep Ripple connections. We also know the BRICS nations could be the next up in line to create a new world reserve currency that could combat the US dollar. And I mean, even if we do see some kind of new special drawings rights, right now we're seeing it at 1.34. Even if we just put it at 5, for example, we could see an XRP price at $17.04. Bringing it up to 10 would bring XRP up to $34.08. And I mean, there's no real way of knowing what a new SDR value could be. What we do know, though, is that there's talk of the sunset of the US dollar, especially as the world reserve currency. New currencies may take its place. Who knows what they'll be backed by? Gold, silver, maybe other commodities. I'm just happy to know that XRP is front and center and already has the partnerships with these BRICS nations. That's just my opinion, though. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.